Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Today's topic is antifungal drug because this topic was remaining, especially in these chemotherapy, and today we are going to discuss antifungal drugs. These fungi, they are eukaryotes, means they have membrane around them. But the fortunate point is that their membrane contain ergosterol, not the cholesterol, which is the main constituent of the human being membrane, cellular membrane. That is why these antifungal drugs, they are the membrane inhibitor. Membrane inhibitors. When we have started these chemotherapy, especially these antibiotics, we classified them cell wall inhibitors, cell membrane inhibitors, protein synthesis inhibitors, and nucleic acid synthesis inhibitor. So this topic today, antifungal drug, is concerned with those drugs which mainly inhibit the cell membrane synthesis. The cell membrane synthesis. These antifungal drugs mainly they inhibit the cell membrane. Some few of the drug, their mechanism of action is a bit different, but majority of the antifungal drugs, they inhibit the cell membrane synthesis. So we are fortunate to have cholesterol, the main ingredient in the cell membrane, but fungi, they have ergosterol. Instead of cholesterol, they have ergosterol in their cell membrane. So this was for the cell membrane, and as I told you, these fungi, they are eukaryotes. They have cell membrane and nucleus. These prokaryotes, just like bacteria, they are prokaryotes. They don't have proper nuclear membrane, but these fungi, they have proper nuclear membrane. And mind it, the antibacterial drugs, they are useless in the fungal infection, and the antifungal drugs, they are useless in the bacterial infection. So because their structure is a bit different, so that is why their drugs are different. These fungi, the study of the fungi is called mycology. Mycology is the study of fungi, and the infection caused by fungi is called mycosis. So the study of fungi is called mycology, and the infection caused by fungi are called mycosis. So these are the general terms in the related to the fungi. Then these fungi, they produces infection in animals as well as in plants, animals and plants. In animals, especially in the human being, they produce, number one, superficial fungal infection. Superficial fungal infection or cutaneous mycosis. Cutaneous mycosis. In cutaneous mycosis, fungi can also cause infection of the nails, as well as they can cause infection of the hair, because the nails and hair, they are the continuation of the skin, so they are also affected by fungi. So superficial fungal infection or cutaneous fungal infection, or cutaneous mycosis. Number two, subcutaneous mycosis or subcutaneous fungal infection. This is the second type of fungal infection, and third is the systemic fungal infection. So three types of infection are caused by fungi in human beings, that is superficial fungal infection or cutaneous fungal infection, subcutaneous fungal mycosis or subcutaneous fungal infection, and systemic fungal infection or systemic mycosis. So these are the infections caused by fungi. So you should be familiar with the type of fungal infection. Mind it, in superficial fungal infection, we apply the antifungal drug superficially on the skin, on the hair, on the nails. But treatment of the cutaneous mycosis and systemic fungal infection, here we use systemic fungal therapy, systemic drug therapy. We give the drug which go systemically and then produce their effect. But fungal infection of the skin, nails, hairs, in that condition we use local preparations like ointments, creams on the superficial parts of the body. So these are the infections caused by fungi. Now, as I told you, these antifungal drugs, they are useless in bacterial infection because bacteria, they are prokaryotes, they have a rigid cell wall, and at the same time these antifungal drugs, they are ineffective in the infection of these bacterial infection. Now the drugs, because we are concerned with the drugs, so we will be discussing the drugs. Especially, we classify the antibacterial, the antifungal drugs in two groups. Classification. Classification of antifungal drugs. In antifungal drugs, we classify these drugs into two groups. As I told you, drugs used in superficial fungal infection, drug used in superfungal infection, or drugs used in cutaneous fungal infection. Cutaneous fungal infection. This is first group. And then the second group of antifungal drug is drugs used in subcutaneous fungal infection and systemic fungal infection. So you should remember that drugs used in superficial fungal infection are cutaneous fungal infection, and drugs used in subcutaneous fungal infection and systemic fungal infection. So these should be just simple on the superficial fungal infection and subcutaneous plus systemic fungal infection. So the groups are different. First, we will be discussing drugs used in subcutaneous infection plus systemic infection, fungal infection. Drugs used in subcutaneous fungal infection plus drugs used in systemic fungal infection. In this group, the drugs are amphotericin B, amphotericin B, then flucytosine, flucytosine. Mind it, some of the fungal infections like fungal meningitis, fungemia, fungal pneumonia, and then fungal infection of the kidney and other organ. So these fungal infections, they are life-threatening. So in this case, we have systemic drugs, systemic fungal drugs, subcutaneous or systemic infection. So for these, we give those drugs which produces systemic effect. So in this, we will give these drugs. Then amphotericin B, flucytosine, fluconazole, then atraconazole, then ketoconazole, this fluconazole, atraconazole, ketoconazole, they are the azoles. You can say they are derived from imidazole. Then mycofungin, etc. So these are the drugs which are used for the systemic mycosis or subcutaneous mycosis. Amphotericin B, flucytosine, fluconazole, atraconazole, ketoconazole, mycofungin, and caspofungin. So these are the drugs which are used in systemic mycosis or subcutaneous mycosis. Then the second group of drugs are which are used in the superficial mycosis. In this group, the drugs are nystatin, griseofulvin, other drugs they are other drugs which are used specially for the cutaneous or superficial. They are terbinafine, Then isoconazole. Isoconazole. Even sometimes these ketoconazole can be used superficially. And then the mycoconazole. So these are the drugs mainly which are used superficially for the superficial antifungal fungal infection. So you should remember that about the classification, there are two types of antifungal drugs. One group is which is used in subcutaneous fungal infection or subcutaneous mycosis and systemic mycosis. The drugs are amphotericin B, flucytosine, fluconazole, atraconazole, ketoconazole, mycoconazole, mycofangin, and caspofungin. And about the superficial mycosis, we use nystatin, glycophyllene, terbinafine, isoconazole, even ketoconazole. So these are the drugs which are used in the superficial mycosis. So at the first we will start the systemic fungal antifungal drugs. Systemic antifungal drugs. In this, first we start number one, amphotericin B. Amphotericin B. About the chemistry. This amphotericin B is a proline. Which is proline macrolide. Proline macrolide antibiotic. Mind it, suppose in the case of penicillin, penicillin is antibacterial drug, and penicillin is derived from fungi. Penicillin is an antibiotic derived from fungi. Mind it, that although penicillin is antibiotic, but amphotericin B is also antibiotic. But their mechanism of action, their uses, they are different. These are the antifungal drug and these are the antibacterial drug, because as we told you about the definition of antibiotic, antibiotics are those drugs obtained from one type of microorganism which are lethal to the other type of microorganism. So here, obtained from the fungi, they kill the bacteria. Here, they are obtained from Streptomyces, nodosus. Streptomyces nodosus bacteria. So that produces antibiotic which are lethal to the fungi. Here fungi produces antibiotic which are lethal to the bacteria. So this is about the chemistry. Although there are amphotericin A as well, amphotericin A, amphotericin B, but especially this amphotericin B is a very famous drug used for the fungal infection, especially for the systemic fungal infection, systemic and subcutaneous fungal infection. It is derived from Streptomyces nodosus. It is polyene macrolide antibiotic, means large structure. So this is about the chemistry of the amphotericin B. Then about the mechanism of action. Mechanism of action. Mind it, amphotericin B, which has a macrolide structure, which have a large molecular structure, cannot be absorbed through the GIT. So that is why it is given by IV route. So when reaching into the fungi, suppose this is the fungal membrane. Suppose this is the fungal membrane, and so on. What occurs? Because these fungi membrane, they have ergosterol. So this amphotericin B comes and combines with the ergosterol of the cell membrane and cause hole formation. After forming the hole formation, what occurs? Electrolytes and macromolecules, they leak out. Especially in the electrolyte, the potassium ion. Potassium, because the cells, they are the beds of potassium. Intracellularly, potassium is known. So once there occurs hole formation, potassium leaks, other ions leaks, then micromolecule, protein, they leak out. With a result, lysis of the fungal cell occur. This is the nucleus. What amphotericin B does? It forms hole, and at the side of the hole, this amphotericin B comes and forms a bond. With the result, this hole is established and electrolytes leak out, and some of the macromolecules, they leak out from the fungal cells, and shrinkage and lysis of the fungal cell occurs, death of the fungi occurs. So this is the mechanism of action of amphotericin B. Reaching the fungal cells, it forms the holes, so with the result, these ions and macromolecules, they leak out and cause death of the fungal cell. So this is the mechanism of action. Then kinetic. About the kinetic, as I told you, these the amphotericin B has a large molecular size. They are macrolide, so they are not absorbed orally. So that's why they are administered by IV route.